The football world has seen youngsters who grew up in slums become professional footballers, but some players have had the most difficult upbringings in football history. Poverty, even if it is heartbreaking in nature, can be an inspiration. Many young people from disadvantaged backgrounds have chosen to market their abilities in order to support themselves. As a result, football has assisted them in improving their financial situation. This is why the most well-known football players in the world today are those who were inspired by their difficult childhood to overcome obstacles and achieve success. See how these players' difficult upbringing aided them in becoming soccer gods on the field. Top footballers who grew up in the ghetto and became billionaires despite their humble beginnings. Let's see how a difficult childhood has helped these players transform to the soccer gods on the pitch. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, born October 3, 1981, is a Swedish professional footballer who currently plays for AC Milan in Serie A. Ibrahimovic grew up in Malmö's Rosengård district, which is better known for swallowing children than for producing brilliant footballers. Zlatan's father was an alcoholic, and his parents divorced when he was only 2 years old. Ibrahimovic was left alone to steal what he required. He honed his technical abilities by playing a type of street ball with friends on a makeshift pitch in Rosengård. Because of Zlatan's unique personality, the school administration hired a special teacher to work with him, but the added humiliation was too much for him to bear. When Ibrahimovic's teacher came out to watch him play soccer one afternoon, he lined a long-range shot off her head. A few days later, the teacher resigned, and a lesson was learned: the world can be a cold, cruel place, but Ibrahimovic could bend it to his will with a soccer ball at his feet. I wanted to stand in front of the entire world and prove to everyone who had doubted me who I really was, Zlatan wrote in his autobiography, "I am Zlatan. And I couldn't think of anyone who could stop me." Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane was born on April 10, 1992, in Senegal to a very poor family who could not even afford his education. Sadio is another player who began his career with nothing. He discovered his passion for football at a young age, and because there was no money to send him to school, playing with other kids in the neighborhood was the best option. At the age of 15, a French scout discovered him by chance in Senegal and brought him to France to showcase his exceptional talent. He began playing for the Mets there. Because of his upbringing, his heart is always with the poor and helpless. He looks for any opportunity to assist Senegalese who are less fortunate. Mane joined Liverpool from Southampton in 2016 for £34 million and will join Bayern Munich in 2022 for a fee of up to £35 million. In an interview, Mane stated, "Why would I want 10 Ferraris, 20 diamond watches, and 2 private jets? What would that mean for the rest of the world? I went hungry, worked in the fields, played barefoot, and skipped school. Now I can assist others. I would rather build schools and provide food and clothing to the poor. I built schools and a stadium, and we give people in extreme poverty clothes, shoes, and food. In addition, I give €70 per month to all people from a very poor Senegalese region to help them with their family finances." His estimated net worth in 2023 is $25 million. Angel Di Maria. Angel Fabian Di Maria, born February 14, 1988, is an Argentine professional footballer who plays for Juventus and the Argentina national team as a winger or attacking midfielder. Di Maria had to work in a coal yard as a child in Argentina to help his family make ends meet. He didn't even have shoes to play youth soccer because they were so poor. Due to his family's low income, purchasing football boots and keeping up with Di Maria's hobby was difficult for his parents. The Di Maria family lived in a house that also served as a grocery store. Di Maria had to fight his way through childhood to become one of the best players of his generation. Football literally saved his life, as well as the lives of his family, from poverty and homelessness. It's something I'll always carry with me. For me to play football and have boots meant that my 2 sisters had to go without, Di Maria explained in an interview. My sisters and I also worked in the coal yard. I started when I was 10 years old, and by the time I was 15, I was assisting with deliveries. It was exhausting work. Angel suffered from hyperactivity, so his parents sought medical advice, who advised that only sport could help his unhealthy condition, and thus the love story between him and football began. The Argentine professional footballer's net worth is estimated to be $22 million. Luis Suarez. Luis Alberto Suarez Diaz is an Uruguayan professional footballer who plays as a striker for Grêmio and the Uruguay national team. He was born on January 24, 1987. Instead, Suarez spent his childhood in Salto, where he played shoeless football in the streets. Suarez's father was a porter in desperate need of a good job, so he left him and his 6 siblings behind. Suarez has always attributed his success in football to the difficulties he faced as a child. Suarez grew up in Salto, about 500 kilometers north of Montevideo, Uruguay, and his family moved to the capital when he was 7 years old. Luis's parents divorced when he was 9 years old, and he was devastated. They were trying times. My parents had divorced, and there was the issue of us being a family that could never choose anything. I could never tell my mother or father, I want these trainers, and have them buy them for me. It was the absolute truth according to Suarez in an interview. Suarez signed a 5-year contract with Barcelona in 2014. He was one of the most expensive players in world football history, with a transfer fee of £64.98 million, €82.3 million. Suarez's net worth is expected to be $70 million in 2023. Luka Modric. Luka Modric, born September 9, 1985, is a Croatian professional footballer who currently plays as a midfielder for Real Madrid and captains the Croatian national team. Modric had a difficult childhood growing up during the height of the Croatian War of Independence. Despite this, Luka continued to play football throughout his difficult childhood years. Modric spent the majority of his childhood at his grandparents' house due to his parents' financial difficulties. He began working as a goat shepherd at the age of 5. Later, Serbian insurgents executed his grandfather. Their house was destroyed by fire, forcing the family to flee the area. Modric had been a football fan since he was a child. He was short and thin for a kid his age, but he had a natural talent for football. Modric signed a 10-year contract with Dinamo Zagreb after demonstrating consistent growth in his height and frame. Luka moved to Real Madrid, one of the best football clubs in the world, in 2012. It turned out to be his most successful venture. Modric led his national team to the 2018 FIFA World Cup finals and was awarded the Golden Ball Award, which is given to the tournament's best player. Dani Alves. Daniel Alves da Silva, born May 6, 1983, is a retired Brazilian footballer who last played for Unam. Alves, one of 5 children, was born and raised in the countryside, where football served as a form of entertainment for families who spent their days working on the land. Daniel would have gone to work in the field carrying a machete on his shoulders, says Antonio Damião Oliveira da Silva, who lives nearby. Many people here work on the land. When most people think of the Northeast, they imagine dry land and poverty. Alves made headlines when he calmly ate a banana thrown at him by a rival fan in a racist gesture. The 39-year-old defender is one of only a few to make it from Brazil's Northeast, an often overlooked region plagued by prejudice and underinvestment. Alves' net worth is estimated to be $60 million. Dani Alves, on the other hand, is currently detained in Barcelona on suspicion of sexual assault. Neymar Jr. Neymar da Silva Santos Jr., also known as Neymar Jr. or simply Neymar, is a Brazilian professional footballer who plays as a forward for Ligue 1 club Paris Saint-Germain and the Brazil national team. He was born on February 5, 1992. Surprisingly, Neymar was a poor footballer whose journey to a world record transfer fee of $262 million began in a small district of southern Brazil, just a few blocks from the local dump. Neymar was born in the industrial city of Mogi das Cruzes, 60 kilometers north of São Paulo, Brazil's largest metropolis, to a journeyman soccer player for the country's smallest teams. Neymar's parents were going through a difficult time because they couldn't even afford an ultrasound scan before his birth. Neymar frequently had to go without electricity and live by candlelight in his young family's cramped quarters. On the field, Neymar quickly adapted from the indoor game, often facing much older opponents, and he fully embraced his role as a Santos player despite growing up as a Palmeiras fan. At the age of 17, he made his professional debut against Oeste in the 2009 São Paulo State Championship, kicking off a career that would go on to make sports history. The player's net worth has risen to around $200 million. Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro is a Portuguese professional footballer who plays as a forward for Al Nassr and the Portugal national team. He was born on February 5, 1985. Ronaldo was nearly aborted before birth by his mother, Dolores Aveiro, in Funchal's impoverished San Antonio neighborhood on the Portuguese archipelago of Madeira. He was the youngest child of cook Maria Dolores dos Santos Aveiro and municipal gardener José Diniz Aveiro. Ronaldo grew up in poverty, sharing a single room with his mother and 2 sisters, but he apparently knew how to carve a path to success. he got expelled from school at the age of 14 because he threw a chair at a teacher who disrespected him. Ronaldo nearly had to go to work to support his family when his mother intervened, telling her son to follow his dream and to reach the top of the world. Ronaldo began playing in the youth ranks of Club Futebol Andorinha de Santo Antonio when he was 8 years old. At the age of 12, he packed his belongings and traveled from San Antonio to Lisbon in 1997. The coaches were concerned about Ronaldo's slim posture at the start of his career, so they fed him extra food after training. In 2003, Ronaldo was signed by Manchester United. When he joined the club, he asked for the number 28 but received the number 7 instead. This motivated him to honor the number and to be known as CR7. Ronaldo's net worth is roughly $500 million, making him one of the richest athletes in the world. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, like and share for more amazing videos. Tell us in a comment, do you think poverty plays an important role in making these players to become legends? And remember, more support from you will help us to continue.